A very good evening to all and welcome to 129th episode of Future Talk. I'm Sherona and I'll be your host for today. So let's start this program with a small introduction about Prayaana. Prayaana was founded in 2017 with a mission of empowering women through economic empowerment, skill development, and personal development. Prayaana is constantly involved in the revival and empowerment of women folk like those who come back to career or who wish to start a career or venture into business. Prayaana connects you with the rest of the world and update you to evolve and grow. The main mission of Prayaana is to empower at least 1 million women educationally, emotionally, and economically by 2030. You can check us at www.prayaana.org. If you wish to join us, please register at www.prayaana.in or you can download our Prayaana's app from Apple App Store or Google Play. Next, we'll see what is PRACODE or Prayaana Collective. PRACODE, in short, is a collaborative community for women to promote and sell products and services owned and operated by them all across India. It's India's first e-commerce platform uniquely dedicated to empowerment of women entrepreneurs. This platform is uniquely designed with an attractive affiliate marketing model where all the women customers are given an opportunity for lifetime savings and earning. PRACODE also conducts social upliftment training, community meetups, and skill development initiative as a part of its corporate social responsibility. You can also check us at www.pracode.com. Prayaana Lab also gives wholesome career support services right from career counseling, training, mentoring, and recruitment services under one umbrella. Last but not the least, Future Talk. Future Talk is one of the most innovative initiatives of Prayaana Labs. The main aim is to connect and network with some of the prominent and inspiring leaders who are pioneers of changes in their respective field. It contains series of interactive webinars where you can learn from national and international speakers who have carved their niche and who can instill you with the same energy and power. Today, we have one such prominent personality with us, and I take up this opportunity to welcome Ms. Bindu Ashok Krishnan, Manager, HR and Administrator. For next 1 hour, she'll be speaking to us about importance of positive attitude at workplace. In case if you are having any queries, you can interact with the speaker too. Post your queries on the YouTube live chat. We will share the queries with the speaker and the responses will be discussed during our question and answer session. Ms. Bindu Ashok Krishnan did her bachelor's from NSS College and went on to pursue her master's from Madurai Kamraj University. She has 20 plus years of experience in the administration and HR field. Currently, she works with Cognub Decision Solutions as HR and Administrator Manager, an IT company in Trivandrum. Her friendly and sympathetic attitude helps her relate to her subordinate. She is a good leader because she is a patient in crisis, takes responsibility and take quick, well-thought decisions. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks, Sherona, for your kind words.
Thank you.
All right. A very warm good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to see so many participants present here tonight, especially on a Saturday night. Thank you all for joining. Hope you all are doing well and safe. Thank you, Prayaana, for giving me this opportunity to interact with these youths. And thank you, Shivana, for introducing me to Prayaana. But I always say, when I interact with young people, I feel young myself. So it's also a tactic to keep myself young. Jokes apart. But I'd be happy if this is an interactive session. And I'll share what I know, maybe what you can share what you know too. Yeah, let it be a win-win session. Sherona, can I share my slide? Sherona, are you there?
Yeah, ma'am.
Can I share my slide?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So today we're going to discuss about attitude at workplace. Nowadays, there are n number of AI tools and psychometric tests available to measure the capabilities and personality of candidates and employees. So here we're going to discuss about the human touch of it. So as we all know, our initial lessons of our attitude begins at our home. Agree? Our parents have taught us, or still guiding us, on how to handle situations, how to behave during certain circumstances, so that we have the right attitude, and with that right attitude, we overcome many crises. All right, now coming to attitude at work. A lot of managers or hiring managers believe that we should hire attitude and not skills. Well, I'm not saying that you should not have skills, you should have skills. But then attitude has more weightage or equal weightage. Why? So a person's attitude shows how he will get along with the team, how the person respects the company, and thus how he's going to brand the company. Branding in the sense, I'm not saying that you should, advertise your company in LinkedIn, FB, or any other social media. Say, if you feel good about the company, if you're happy in the company, you obviously will talk about all the good things about the company to your friends, to your relatives, and thus through word of mouth, the message goes on. So that is another kind of branding. It is indirect marketing. So that then, how good is he at work, how productive he is, and the list goes on. So interestingly, when candidates attend interviews, most of the times, they highlight their best behavior. Why? Because they need this job, right? So they are prepared themselves very well on how to behave during the interview. So they do all these things to clear the interview. This might be for 1 or 2 hours. And after that, well, I'm not generalizing. There are a lot of people who are very, very, very daring. But then after that comes the real picture. So this is not just in the case of interviews. This may be applicable in any situation where we need to win that particular moment or situation. So what few companies do is they ask scenario-based questions, like they ask the candidates to explain situations where they have succeeded using their behavioral skills, attitude, etc. So they can assess their attitude to a great extent. Not completely though, but then to a great extent, we can assess their attitude. Trust me, people with skill sets plus good attitude will be great assets to the organization. So we should also learn how to read people or understand them from the way they, from their gestures, from the way they dress up. Well, dressing up always doesn't work, but still, to an extent, yes, their handshakes, all these things, through all these things, we can assess their attitude to an extent. Well, let's not go deep into the hiring side since today's topic is not that. So we were talking all about positivity. All right, so now see the other side. If one person has a bad attitude, it's more than enough to disturb the others. There'll be a negative impact on every other person in the organization, right? So this can be the manager, peers, clients, vendors, and even the janitors. So why am I saying janitors? You might be wondering, well, manager, yes, your peer, yes, client, yes, but why janitor? Because janitor, in the sense, your watchman or probably your housekeeping person. So you will be spending almost 8 to 9 to 10 hours in your office, right? So morning you'll go with a lot of positivity, and then you go and sit, you reach your workstation, and then you suddenly see that your workstation is messy, it's not clean. So you will not be having that mood to work, right? Again, you will have to use the washroom several times. And if the washroom is not clean, finished. So all these things, if a janitor has a bad attitude, these things will affect you. So that is why I took janitor. So this attitude, it is applicable to everyone. On the other hand, if you're approachable and have a good attitude or positive attitude, people will stand by you. There'll be togetherness, there'll be happiness, and the work culture itself will change. Agree? All right. So now let's see, how does this workplace attitude affects the individual performance? Mostly attitude is based on many factors that an employee carries to the workplace. So as I told you before, the molding starts at home. So there would be something molding that is deep rooted, which might be difficult to change very fast. It's not that you cannot change. It is possible for every human being to change his or her character or habit. But you should have a conscious effort to do so. But, of course, values and attitudes develop from the early childhood itself. So this could be the result of his or her upbringing or thought process through which the person has been guided so far, and different perspectives through which he or she looks at the world. His education, experience of life, all these things comes. So it's not just from home that he picks up all these attitudes. It's a result of the person's surroundings of with whom the person interacts with. So when our parents, our teachers, or any other older people advise us on values or any other good things, children or sometimes youngsters also tend to take it as an annoying act. But trust me, these are the factors that mold us to wonderful individuals later. And we can raise another wonderful generation. Now, don't think that, oh, we've heard all these things many times from our parents, from our teachers, from our grandparents. Now, what is this lady coming and saying? Trust me, though we feel all these things annoying now, we're going to tell all these things to our children when we bring them up. Okay, so anyway, now coming to workplace. Employees will have high job satisfaction, right? When they're happy, when they have a positive attitude towards them. Now, in that case, they'll get recognition and opportunity for advancement. So a person who's dissatisfied with his or her job holds a very negative attitude about the job also. So when you're positive, your organizational commitment and involvement will increase. You will have that inclusive feeling, you'll be more productive, and this will help the betterment of the company as well as for the individual. Now, am I audible? Am I going fast? Sherona?
Yes,
All right.
Bindu.
Audible.
I'm audible, right? Okay. All right, now let's see some commonly found attitudes. It is positive plus negative and negativity. So let's go for the positives first. Respect. So we've all heard of the saying, give respect and take respect. That's exactly what we need here, whether you're in the corporate world or wherever you are, right? It's very important that you learn to respect others, listen to what others have to say, value their time and effort, be polite, be transparent, be positive. And this positivity will reflect in your or our attitude too. Our energy will upgrade itself. The energy levels will boost up high, the confidence will boost up, we will be good decision makers. If our confidence is high, then we can take good decisions. Your network will increase. People start trusting you, which is very important. And people will want to be with you, right? People will support you, they'll be with you. Another thing is listening. Learn to listen. So these are all positive things that I'm telling you. Learn to listen. When somebody is coming to you with a problem, or not really a problem, if he or she wants to share something with you, make sure that you're listening. So listening shows your caring attitude. Be it if you're a boss or a peer or a friend or whoever you are. But if you listen to somebody, that shows your caring attitude towards that person. So this fosters the relationships. In fact, there's another instance of showing your concern for well-being of others that you're acquainted with. So make sure that you're listening when somebody is coming to you. Somebody will feel light when you're listening to them. Another quality is like energetic and enthusiastic. Most of the successful leaders maintain a very positive attitude, and they tend to spark this vibe of enthusiasm among their team also. So their enthusiasm is unstoppable. Their energy is unstoppable. And believe me, it is contagious. So let's be like them. People will like to be around such leaders to get that positive energy along with it. So let's be energetic, let's be enthusiastic. Now comes empathy, which is another very important thing that every human being should have. I am actually for empathy. So empathy is like, it's to be compassionate and to connect with others. It is very critical in this world. So if you're empathetic, you can relate thoughts and experience of others. And for example, one of the performers of the organization suddenly become dull. So he or she is not performing well. So what this boss is going to do? So this boss going to this person and saying, hey, I've been watching you for quite some days. You're underperforming. If you keep up the strength, I will not give you a appraisal next time. I'm not going to give you a good rating next time. This is going to affect your promotion. So then the other person who is already dull and listens to all these things, what will happen? This person will become more dull. He will become demotivated, right? And at the same time, if the boss is going and asking him, hey, what's happening? I'm okay. I've been watching you for quite some days. You look very dull. So is this something that I can help you? Maybe we can work it out together. Can we talk? Something like that. Look at the difference. The person will, the person will have something to share with the manager or share with their friends. Of course, this is a very positive gesture. So make sure that you have that empathy. Similarly, I'm saying about the workplace attitude, otherwise also you can take commitment of fulfillment. So this is like self-encouraged, motivated person whose objective is to reach the goal. So they will have a very clear connection with the organization and their job. They love their work as well as their organization. So if they love their work, then obviously they'll have this good connection with the organization also. So these people are assets to the organization. And ownership. It's being accountable for the action that you take. Initiate something and don't wait for somebody to come and do it. You take the ownership. And in case if you're making a mistake, admit it, correct it. Yeah, learn from the mistakes, move forward. But you take the ownership. And teach others also, encourage others also to do so. Innovation. Innovation is something that, people will come up with some innovation and make others' lives better. So there are some people who comes up with innovation and those will be really, really helpful for few or most of the people. That is another thing. Helping mentality. Some people love to help others and they feel so good when they help others. That's it. All right. So let me give you an example. A few years back in my office, I wanted to I was just creating a training report. So I wanted to accumulate all these figures. I wanted to have these training, you say how many hours the person has put in and how many hours the trainer has put in, all those things. I wanted to have accumulated all this. And then one of my colleagues saw this and he was asking me, what is it? So I said, I need to do all these things. And I was doing some simple Excel calculation. And this guy came up and said, ma'am, I can do one thing. I can make a macro for you so that things will be easier for you. You just have to put in your figures there and everything will be fine down. Everything will be set. So he really helped me do that and really saved a lot of my time. Thanks, Priyan, for that. I'm mentioning your name without telling you. All right. Another thing is like, if you're doing the same thing again and again, you get saturated. So take a risk and move forward in your life. So it's not like when they say at the office, you do same thing every day, but you will be in the same position. You'll be in the same place. You might need to learn to like the situation and then, come up with new things, move on, take a risk. So all these comes in. I mean, these are few of the things which are positives that I feel. Now, few negatives. Actually, I don't like to say negatives, but then since it's embarrassing, I would like to say about this also. So arrogance, rebellious, sarcastic. Have you seen such people in your office? There would be a few people with arrogance, rebellious, and sarcastic character. Well, we might not even, we cannot even sometimes stand with their sarcasm, but if you have that confidence, if you're positive enough, you'll just let it go. And some people unwilling to learn. Some people practice procrastination. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is delaying things. The more you procrastinate, the more you delay with your things to get done. So you do one thing, make a to-do list every day. When you go in the morning itself, take a scribbling pad, make a to-do list. So 1, 2, 3, you might have n number of lists. And after each task is done, just strike it off. So the first task is done, you strike it off. Second is done, strike it off. Third is done, strike it off. At the end of the day, you can see all strikes. Believe me, you'll feel happy at the end of the day when you see this, because it's all done. So it will really help you, come out of your procrastination. Right. All right. Then some people are kind of selfish. I will do only my thing. I will not let others succeed. Closed-minded, plain box, gossiping. Some people, they will take ownership, and thus all these things will lead to poor communication. So all these things are, negatives, which has to be sorted out. So what has to be? What should we do? What should we do for this? Well, we have to act with purpose. That means think before you do anything. Think if this is going to be useful to others or you. Think if it is going to be harmful. It's doing things with thoughts and consideration. So you also consider others and make things useful for them. So what you do is set a goal. Set a goal, but before you take any action, think if that is useful or does it harm others. All right. So anticipate how or check how it is going to serve your purpose. Now, if this thing that you're going to do is not going to be effective, I mean, you analyze it many times, and if you still feel that this thing is not going to be effective, then I would say you please stop there, because then it is a waste of time and your energy. Because you don't never do anything just for the sake of doing. So analyze it first, understand its cost, and then you proceed. Right. Then, yeah, of course, do it in an optimal way. Optimize your work. When I say optimize, I remember an incident. That also it's like 6 to 7 years back. Our leadership team once went for a training in Bangalore, and that was a leadership training where we had to do. It was a wonderful resort kind of place, and we had to do some some activities, some games. So we were given this particular activity. So the person, what they did is the trainer, he came and gave us a lot of things. In a basket, there were a lot of things. There were like thick elastic bands. There were some safety pins. There were nails, threads, bottle, gum. I don't know what all. There were some wooden sticks. So any number of things were there. And the trainer asked us to make a catapult out of all these things. I mean, he came and asked us, use all these things and make a catapult. You know what a catapult, right? A device for shooting small stones, a Y-shaped thing. All right. Okay. So, so with all these, we were kind of wondering, with all these things, we need to make a catapult. How can you use all these things to make a catapult? So, but the exercise was you need to make use of all these things. So we were kind of, however possible, we were kind of making use of everything. And finally, a catapult was made. So we went with this catapult to that person, and then this person said, what happened? This is a catapult. This is a catapult. Well, it was a hopeless catapult. So what he told us is like, why did you use a lot of things? You could have just taken 2 or 3 sticks, made a Y shape, you could have made a Y-shaped device, tie a, what do you say, that broad or elastic band, and then done. Maybe you can use some thread to tighten it. That's all. So we were like, but we wanted to use all these items. Then he said, no, you use whatever that you need to use or build the product or make the item. So that was a lesson that they gave. That means you only capture what you want. Even if whether it's a product that you're making or if it's a character or an attitude or whatever that you're fetching, make sure that you're fetching or you're taking only what you need. Don't take unnecessary things and make it a mess. So if it is a good attitude, fetch only that good attitude rather than fetching all those attitudes that you see. All right. So that was one exercise. It's very good. So another thing that you can do is, as I told you, we do the same thing every day. It might be depressing. So same old thing will be boring also. So stretch yourself and then stretch your limits. That's what I meant. And then since you stretch it, you will be able to do more and more things, which will be interesting. Similarly, when you take action, don't expect to take every action. I mean, without expecting a result. Don't expect result for every action that you take. That's what I mean. So, sometimes you might not get the desired result, but you should not get depressed. Learn from the mistakes and move forward. So that is exactly the next thing. You use the setbacks and improve your skills. So that is what you learn from your mistakes. Then seek out those who share your positive attitudes. You be with people who are positive, right? So, I mean, maximum you try to be with positive people so that you get that behavior. There is a tendency for people that, if you're there with a few good people, you might fetch few of the good things from them. So similarly, if you're with few negative people, you might fetch negative things. So avoid such things, be with positive people always. And don't be so serious. Just be cool, relax, enjoy, and be comfortable. Now, that is something that people take things very seriously. Relax, laugh out loud. Okay, now chill and enjoy. The next thing is like, we might have 100%, or the manager might have 100% set standard, but then he or she should not expect the same thing from the other person. The other person might not be that eligible or capable. He'll be like 70 or 80% or 60%. So don't expect or forgive the limitations of others. So that you go teach them, help them, support them, train them. Yeah. Then the next thing is say thank you. Say thank you very frequently. That's a very beautiful and sweet word that you can use. So, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So thank you is, what is thank you? It is having gratitude, right? Let me tell you an example. It's a funny example. There is this there's this place near my there's a shop near my place where we used to go and buy milk. Usually my husband goes, and my neighbors. So my neighbors, everybody buys milk from them. So this shopkeeper, he's very unpleasant. I'm sorry, but then that is his nature. I don't know. That might be his attitude. He never smiles at anyone. He's very shrewd. He's very unpleasant. He doesn't look at our face. He just, when we ask for milk, he just throws the packet on the table and it just doesn't look at our face and give the balance back to us. So my husband always complains, why is he like this? Can't he be a bit pleasant? So once I happened to go and buy milk from this guy. So the same thing happened. He was not looking at me. He was very rude, and he was, same thing. He was throwing the milk on the table, like take it kind of thing. And then he gave me the balance. So I suddenly told him, thank you. So he was like, huh? Thank you. So he's like, ha. So he was smiling, his face suddenly changed, believe me. And then when I came into the car, my husband was asking, what did he do? Did he smile? What did you tell him? I said, I just told him a plain thank you. And look at the attitude. Look at the change in his attitude. I'm not saying that everyone who go and say thank you, the change would come, but then it reciprocates. You do good things, maybe the good things will reciprocate back to you. So make sure that you're always positive, you're always pleasant. All right. And you must, and then there is another incident that I want to say this. There's another incident that I saw in FB today morning. A former CEO wishing good luck and thanking his former employee who was leaving the organization that he was associated with previously. How nicely he has written the post to thank him and appreciate him for his hard work. That shows his friendly nature and gratitude to his employees. That is attitude. Vijay, I'm taking your name here. Vijay is the CEO of INAP. So he's a very energetic, positive vibe. Whenever he passes by, we always have a positive vibe. So attitude is that. So be nice to people. People will be good to you. And be thankful to any gifts that they give, even if it is a smile. All right. Okay, now let's a few negative attitudes that you can see is like pessimism. Some people are extremely pessimistic. No matter what you do, they always find the darker side of it. This in turn actually demotivates, not only demotivates, but also kills the good vibe in an organization. So make sure that you're not pessimistic. Some people are highly intolerant. Sometimes, if his colleagues stand next to him and talk or chat or something, this person will get irritated. And then if there is a telephone ring, this person will get irritated. If there is a music, soft music, this person will get irritated. So he gets irritated for anything and everything, he or she, sorry. So how dare these people are disturbing my work? So such things also, people will not get associated, or people might not like to talk to such people who are intolerant. So be a bit, liberal, be a bit friendly, not a bit, be friendly, be positive. Another negative thing that we can see is stubborn. Some people are very stubborn. It could be managers, it could be friends, colleagues itself. So probably, this person might take 2 or 3 days to complete a thing, and the newly joined kids will come and say, so we can do this in 5 hours. Give us, let us do it this way. This is a new way of doing things. This is very practical. No way. You are not senior. I am the senior here. You are a junior. You cannot do that. So these kind of approaches are actually bad to the organization also, because sometimes these young people, they come up with a lot of innovation, a lot of ideas. They might be able to help us with, the work much better. Or maybe what we need to do as seniors, what we need to do is we need to seek help from them. We need to take their ideas. So that has to be there. Feeling of some people, they feel very insecure. Whatever it is, whatever the things that you do, you feel very insecure. Nobody can do anything for it. You have to work on it and bring that good feeling in you. Feeling of insecurity and inferiority don't allow a person to find real joy. Similarly, worrying for nothing, for everything and anything, this person always keeps worrying. Why? Why worry simply? there will be, they might anticipate that there will be a problem which is going to come, and they start worrying now itself. Let the problem come first, and then you start worrying. So such people are also, has the negative vibes. So those things are actually not good. And then some people just jump into conclusion without thinking anything. So this is like, you need to listen to certain things and then jump into conclusion rather than jumping into conclusion just like that. So all these are, not easily, people cannot tackle so easily with such behavior. Some people will get easily offended. So like anything that you say, sometimes the other person might not be actually offending him or her. But this person will be that, yeah, he's offending me. He's insulting me. How bad. I'm not going to talk to all these things. That is actually bad. So you understand what it is, talk to them. Then the other interesting negative thing is this, people will think that they are the sufferers. They are the scapegoats. So anything, whatever that you say, is I am the suffering person here. This is not going to, I'm not going to come out of this. This is so negative. Yeah. And you blame the others for this negativity. You blame the others saying that because of him or her, I'm suffering. It's not like that. You have to come out of it. You have to find a solution for it. I used to read this book, Secret. I don't know how many of you know. I think many of you know that, by Rhonda. So she says there is this thing called law of attraction. It says your thoughts become your action. That's actually true in some cases, I've experienced few, I'm not saying everything, but I've experienced few. So be careful about your thoughts. You can actually attract good things. You can actually attract negative things also. So be careful when you think about, you have any thoughts. Now, why this attitude? We saw these kind of attitudes. But why? Why this attitude? So we should understand why this. We cannot just leave like that, right? When you have such people in our company. So why? Why this attitude? People sometimes might not be feeling appreciated. So if you don't appreciate a person for what he or she is doing, people will naturally get demotivated. So appreciate the person, appreciate every step. If you have, if you're in a project, if you start a project, you have 10 milestones there. Don't wait for the 10th milestone to go and appreciate the team or the person. You start from the first day, you start from the first milestone. The people who are working behind that or the people who are working for that will feel appreciated, will feel motivated. And what will happen if the person is motivated? Obviously, you'll have a very high result, right? So do that. And then obviously, if the person is not feeling appreciated, the person will feel disappointed. And then sometimes there will be bad managers. So such, people also will get easily demotivated. Some people, the reason would be they would not have friends or friendly peers at their workplace. That's actually very bad. You need somebody to share your feelings, or somebody to share your problems, or somebody to share your happiness. So happiness you can share with everyone. But if you have a problem, everybody will not be there with you. But at least some people will be there with you. So you need some friends to share your problems. It will actually ease your problem. You will feel very light, and you will not have that negativity piled up in you. So that is one thing. That is one reason. Another thing is there would be workaholics. So some people will be big workaholics. They work. They won't participate in any of the games, any of the fun activities, any of the whatever that is arranged for the office. They will not come. They will not enjoy. Only work. So finally, what will happen? They create negativity. So don't take life so seriously. Be cool. Be happy. Enjoy your life. All right. Then next is we saw all these things. We saw why it is happening and what are the consequences. What is the consequence that you face? So here are just a few consequences that you face. Unhappy team members, obviously. Obviously, when you have all these problems, you have unhappy team members. There would be fights between the team members, and friction. Then there would be poor flow of communication. Obviously, when there are misunderstandings or difference of opinion among colleagues or team, the communication there would be very, very poor. So what will happen if the communication is poor? We will have a reduced performance, right? And reduced performance means it is less creativity, less innovation, and less productivity. It's less employee engagement and thus a bad workplace or a bad atmosphere in the workplace, which we should not, let such things lead to a bad workplace atmosphere. We should be extremely careful with such people. We should bring them out of that situation so that the workplace itself is really good, because you're spending a lot of your time with your colleagues and in the office. So you need a very pleasant and very good atmosphere there. So you should have a positive atmosphere. So such we should avoid such things to happen. And yeah. So how do you manage this, or how do you deal with this negative, or how do you manage with these problems? So no matter how good you are, how good you hire, how much you put an effort, some or the other will always find fault. Okay, and you can find some of the other such characters. So what do you do? What do you do to make them better or come out of this? Make them your friend. I'm not saying that you should go and make them your friend in 5 minutes time. It's not like that. Slowly and slowly, go talk to them, be with them, make them feel that you are with them, and you're there to support them. And finally, make them your friend. But give them a reasonable time. As I told you, you cannot just go and make or be their friends in 5 minutes time, or maybe in 1 or 2 days, or a couple of days. 5 or 6 days time. Give them a reasonable time to come out of it. Slowly and slowly, the person will come out of it, and he will have that inclusive feeling. You have to give them that inclusive feeling so that he will be or she will be with you. Give them a challenging responsibility. I'll give you an example. I read this quite some time back. I don't remember the name of this person, but this is an incident which happened. This is regarding a pilot. So what happened is, like, there was this aircraft which was going to fly, and then the pilot had to do an emergency landing. So the reason was the aircraft was filled with the wrong fuel. Just imagine. Luckily, nothing happened. This is not the story which happened now. It happened long back. But then what happened was nothing. There was no danger. The pilot had made an emergency landing, and then there was this inquiry. They found out who this person was who filled the wrong fuel in the aircraft. And you know what this pilot did? He went directly to that person and then said, "From tomorrow, you did a very big mistake. Because of your mistake, many lives would have gone, and there would have been a very bad danger. Somehow I could avoid it, but make sure that you're not doing that mistake. You have to avoid doing this. So from tomorrow onwards, you will be the only one who will fill fuel in my aircraft." So what is he doing there? He's giving that challenging responsibility to that person. So if you give such a challenging responsibility to that person will feel, he will take the ownership, and he will have that responsibility. He knows that this is his responsibility, and he made a mistake. He should not make that mistake again. So that is a challenging responsibility. A challenging responsibility to such people. And let them implement their own solutions. Redirect their focus. So all these things are some really, really good things that you can do to make a person come out of such negative things. Now, the last thing that you can do is I mean, if you're doing a number of things, you know that nothing is working out, then you just quit. That should be the last thing. Till then, you do all these good things to bring the positivity. Now, let me share something that I saw, which was of interest to me. I don't know if this is very clear, but this is a circle, and it says, my attitude affects my behavior. My behavior affects your attitude affects your behavior, and your behavior again affects my attitude. So if you have a bad attitude, if you have a negative attitude, you'll be just circling there. But if you had something good, nice, positive, you'll be able to come out of it, right? So these are some positives and negatives, some quick statistics that I did. So you can just see the green is always with the positive and the red is with the negative. So I don't have to get into all this. We've already discussed all these things here. So the other thing is like, you can, with all these good things, you can make the impossible possible. And you can bring in success, you can bring in happiness. So basically, there's one thing, it's all about communication. Good communication, rather positive communication, changes everything in a positive way. You cannot rule the world with just your skill sets. Your attitude matters the most. Right? Do you agree now? By feeling positivity in life, one can reach any heights of happiness, of course, and success. So by bringing change in your mindset, you can become very much successful in life. So be optimistic and expect the best to happen. Moreover, a positive person is more happy and more healthy. So always be positive, bring in the positivity of you. And that's it. Attitude is everything, brings out new path, new beginnings, and always see the brighter side of life. So be positive, and be positive. So with that note, let me conclude here. Wish you all a very positive and bright future. Thanks a lot for listening. Stay positive, stay safe. Did I take a long time? Sherona, are you there?
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for an enlightening and inspiring presentation. We appreciate your effort for clarifying a mysterious area. Hope this session would help us to have a positive attitude, not only at workplace, but also in our entire life, especially during this very severe pandemic situation. With this, we come to the end of our program. Next, we'll move to question and answer session. Ma'am, we have got few questions, and it would be great if you answer that. Ma'am, can you please stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, okay. All right. Done.
Ma'am, our first question is, most of us will be having a time where we think of giving up. How to overcome that?
Most of us will be
having a time where we think of giving up. So how to overcome that?
all right. So I think that I had already discussed this during my session. You have to try whatever possible way that you can to bring in the positivity, to come out of whatever the negative things that you are into. And at the end, after saying all these things, I think I had discussed how to come out of it, how to bring in positivity. After doing all these things, still, if you feel that you cannot, then that's not the place for you. You have to move out, because then still if you're there, that will be, you'll create a negative impact on yourself as well as others in the company.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, next
But
question.
then that should be the last option.
Yeah. Ma'am, next question. How we are supposed to react when we are asked to do something beyond our capabilities?
You have to see there is something called a communication. If you cannot do certain things that you are assigned to, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
that somebody is assigning you something and that is beyond your capability, and how do you manage that? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So if this thing is something that you're not able to handle it, please make sure that you are telling this or you're communicating this to your boss, and ask him or her to help you out with solutions. Or you have a lot of other seniors you can interact with in the company. You have a lot of social media sites where you can see professionals. So interact with them, discuss with them, but make sure that you are telling this to your manager also. Make sure that, so that he doesn't expect this result immediately from you. Say that this is slightly difficult, but I'm trying to do my best. If you can help me come up or guide me through the solutions a bit more, clearly, I'll be able to do that in a much better way. So communicate with your manager, communicate with others who use this.
Yeah. Thank
Rather
you.
than, there are some people who, they take up this responsibility and then they don't know what to do. And then they just sit there all tensed up, and then they get all these scoldings and things from their managers. Then this person will get demotivated. Rather than that, you communicate it.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is mental health and positive attitude interrelated?
Of course it is. Mental health is interconnected with a positive attitude. If you're negative, you will be obviously demotivated. Your mental health will go down. You will be stressed, right? If you're stressed, you will have n number of problems. You will have your BP shooting high. You will have a lot of other mental or physical or a lot of problems happening if you're not positive. Positive state.
Okay, ma'am. And last question is it always possible to handle criticism positively at the workplace? If yes, how?
Well, that depends on how you take things. It is not very easy to take criticism every time in a positive way. But then, if you're feeling this or you're finding that you're getting this criticism every day or every time, then you have to understand that there's something wrong in what you're doing. So you need to work it out and then maybe at least communicate with who's criticizing you. Talk to them. What is wrong? What is that you're finding wrong in me? Correct me rather than criticizing me. Sit with them and come up with a solution. So just take it in that way. So it is all basically communication. So that's what I feel. I have cleared a lot of problems just because of just by communicating. So communicate with that person who's criticizing you. Tell them, why are you criticizing me? Tell me the reason. Tell me a way so that I can come out of this. Tell me a way for the betterment, or guide me how I can do better. In that way, you can make things better.
Thank you, ma'am. If anybody else have any questions, please ask now.
Hi, Sherona. Thank you
Hi.
so much. Ms. Bindu, first of all, thank you so much on behalf of Prayaana for coming and taking this session for us. It was really very informative and relevant. Especially, I liked your anecdote about the milkman reciprocating your good wife. It's such a simple thing to do, but the effect that it creates, it's so big. So I really liked that particular anecdote. I have two questions to ask you. Let me just give you the scenario and then I'll frame my question in two parts. And I'll let you answer the first question before I go to the second. Is that okay, ma'am?
Okay, can you come back to come again?
Pardon me. I will give you a scenario.
Okay.
And I'll frame my question in two parts. So you can answer the first one and then I'll go to the second question.
Right.
Is that okay, Ms. Bindu?
Fine.
All right. So you're working in an company as an HR manager, which is a company which has like multiple teams and employees working in all those teams, right? So as an HR manager, how do you make sure everyone in the company stays positive? If I give you a specific scenario, if someone comes to you with a concern that they are not getting enough recognition from their bosses or from work. How do you deal with that particular situation as an HR manager?
Right. First of all, as an HR manager, you should be very approachable. So that is something that, see, again, there is the importance of communication there. If you're very approachable, people will come and, they'll be free to come and talk to you of any problems, be it professional, be it personal. So when this person is coming to me with this problem that I'm not being appreciated, that's what you asked, right? That was your question, right? Not being appreciated.
Yes, they are not getting enough recognition.
Yeah, so not getting appreciated, not getting enough of recognition. So I listen to them, I sit with them, I listen to them. What I do is I have a meeting with their managers, but I make sure that when I talk to the manager doesn't get offended. Again, there is this communication tactics. It is not a tactic, that is how you should do. Because you should take your people in such a way that they don't get offended, but at the same time, they understand what the problem is. So they will not, I also make sure of one thing, that this manager will not have a problem with the employee who complained. All right. So this manager will understand what the problem is, so that, sometimes some managers will take it in a bad way, and then they might have a bad impression about that guy, and then might harm. See, I'm not saying about all the managers, but I make sure that this person, he's not offended, the other person is not offended, and the problem is solved. So you take, it is all basically the communication. So that's what I do.
Yes, well said, ma'am. Yeah, that was
take the employee into confidence, take the manager into, basically take people into confidence. They'll trust you.
true. Because that is an additional responsibility that you have to balance between the two individuals, so that you satisfy both of them and you are able to reach a solution as well. Yeah, well said, ma'am. Okay, so now let me turn the scenario, let me turn the perspective a little bit. I am that employee, and I have been through a situation where I felt that I was not being appreciated for the work that I put in. If I can tell you the specific scenario, it was a 2-member project. So I was doing one half, like the front end of the project, and the other guy was doing the back end. So I know that both of us have put in effort, and without equally, and without one person, without both of us, the project would not have been completed. But when it came to, when the project got finished, he got all the credit, and I felt a little bit, left out. And the project manager could have, told the clients or the senior management that I have also put in, that much effort. So that kind of made me a little bit demotivated at that time. But then I couldn't directly tell the manager that I felt that he was being a little bit biased, or that, I was overlooked. So what should I have done in that particular situation?
Okay, you went and spoke to your line manager or your HR manager.
Yeah. In fact, this happened many years ago, and
I just want to know. I just want to know the real scenario. Did you talk to your line manager or your HR manager about this?
I did not.
You did not.
That is the truth.
So whom did you talk to?
Not. I just talked to some of my friends, my colleagues.
That's absolutely not the solution. You should be talking to the manager. You should be talking to the, if your line manager is not listening to you, go to the HR manager. Why these people are sitting there? To solve your problems, right? So if you tell all these problems to the peers who is not going to help you, then why are you sharing it with them? So you have to escalate it. But as I said, do it in a smoother way so that people don't really get angry on you also. So do it in a smoother way. So your leaders are there to help you out. Make sure that you're using that. So that is how you should be doing. Escalate it. Escalate it, but make sure that you're not harming the other person.
Yes, that is one concern that some people might have had. I think I was afraid that even if I went to a senior manager and told about this issue, they would have just, brushed it off, saying there is nothing like that, or
That was your,
Yeah.
that you anticipated it.
Probably, yeah. I was very young at that time and not very experienced in
I
the
understand.
company as well. So probably I must have had that fear that what if my manager gets to know that I complained like this, and that sort of, reflects back on my appraisal and stuff, right?
Deepa, that is the way that you should be. That is, how you go and communicate with them, how you go and tell them. So that is based on the tone of your complaint. You should say that you were actually feeling bad, a bit low. You should not say that, see, I did this, why didn't I get this? Not that way. So it's that, see, if this is the thing, then I might not be getting that motivation to work forward or to do a better thing. So if this could be sorted out, then, or if this will not happen with others, we will be able to work together and make the product better. So communicate with your managers, escalate it in a good way. You can come out and you would have found a solution.
Yes. Now
Don't
I
be
understand.
scared of your
Yeah.
managers. Don't be scared of your managers. A lot of people, young people, when they come, they just anticipate. They just have this feeling that, no, how can I go? I create a bad impression if I know. It's nothing like that. They are humans. They are humans. They are there to help you out. Go talk to them.
Especially with freshers and juniors.
Exactly.
This fear is always there, that what if it does not go out well, or I think it's also a responsibility of the HR team to make sure that these kind of the HR team is an unbiased team.
Correct.
Who considers everybody's requests and satisfies them. So I think it's the whole environment of the organization itself.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. And it's not only that, the HR team will, they communicate with every employee if possible, and all the team managers, the super seniors or whoever it is, communicate with everybody and then understand if there is any problem, sort it out in a good way. And that's what I do. Right. Anything else?
Right. Thank you so much, Ms. Bindu.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Any other
Please.
questions?
Please do share your feedback as comment on our YouTube channel. And also don't forget to subscribe our channel. Are you a woman entrepreneur? Would you like to sell your products at Praco? Then mail us at info@praco.com, or you can call us or WhatsApp us at 907207791. You can also connect us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Praco. For advertisements of sponsorship, mail us to joinprayaana@gmail.com. Thank you once again for your time, love, and support.
Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Prayaana.